Hello everyone. I'd like to welcome you to this video. This video is going out to all my subscribers who are currently interested in my military vehicles that we sell along with our van conversions. But ever since I sent out my video yesterday and I mentioned about our EV vehicles, I had quite a few of you guys contact me back by email mentioning that you wanted more information about the EV stuff. And I'm still in the testing stages or planning out, making sure this stuff is perfectly good for what we need to do, but it does work. And I decided I will add it to our catalog so you know what we're offering. Again, I outsource a lot of our stuff that we use to convert our military vehicles into RVs or even expedition trucks. So there's a lot of outsourcing we do for these manufacturers. But what I want to do is explain to you a little bit about how we convert like a military truck like this one, this MTVR, this massive 6x6 military truck, and how we convert it into an electric vehicle. Now, many of you are going to laugh at me. You're stupid. Why are you getting rid of the diesel engine? And now you're going to make fun of me all you want in this video, and I've had plenty of people laugh at me, but the plan is I would like to get an EV vehicle, not specifically for just saving the earth, because no offense to any of you watching, I'm not a tree hugger. I actually honestly believe that electric vehicles are extremely horrible for the environment, but I'm far from being an environmentalist, but I've done enough research on that. But an electric vehicle is a huge asset what if diesel runs out? What if gas runs out in gas stations? I'll give you a quick example on this video. I'm going to try and make this video short, but as many of you know, in my company, we originally built bunkers for preppers. I have about 3 or 4 people that got in a situation where they ran out of fuel. They didn't have the gas to get to their bunker for certain situations. I'm not going to get too political about it, but you guys might know around a time when there was a riot for a very long period of time for a certain group of people, and it caused a lot of chaos throughout the United States, and a lot of people got hurt and killed. And I have about 3 of my customers who were victims of these riots that happened a few years ago. Just because of YouTube, I'm keeping my mouth shut about it. But the thing is, 1 or 2 of my customers, they had a bunker out about 6 hours away from where they lived. Another one had it about 3 hours away from where they lived. But even in the major cities, when there were riots, they were not able to get the fuel that they needed around that specific area. So they had to go out of town. Imagine if there was a shutdown of the gas stations a lot further out. And so what I like about this idea is if the crap really hit the fan, why not get a vehicle that is electric powered that you can have solar panels mounted on the top of it and you'll have unlimited fuel. But yeah, even though you may run out of fuel maybe 20 miles later if you're only running strictly on solar panels, at least you have a means of moving your vehicle if all the gas and diesel run out. And that's why I am very passionate and trying very hard to push this right now, because I really feel this is going to be a need instead of just a want. And so enough of that. I won't talk any more of it, but that's what I feel why I'm pushing this very hard in our company. So what I've done is I networked with a company out of Canada and another one out of Colorado, where we will be taking the entire engine out of the MTVR truck. And then we are going to basically, if you see right here on the right hand side, that's basically the transmission. And they basically replace it as a motor for the truck, an electric motor. It's extremely heavy. They say it's much heavier than the original transmission. But it is the heart and blood of running these trucks. And what we do is we'll have a massive battery bank where these trucks can run about 120 to 150 miles per charge. But if you don't have a charging station, we're in the middle of this right now, so I'm just playing this by ear. I figure with the amount of solar panels that we would put on the roof of the expedition truck, like say in the picture right here, you have this camper. I would like to extend a rack out here and we get as many panels mounted on the top, and then it can charge it. And we figure with a full charge all day, you can probably go about 20 to 30 miles extra a day on the truck with those just solar panels alone. And if something really happened in the world and there was complete utter chaos, you're not going to go hundreds of miles a day. You're only going to go probably 10 or 15 miles a day. So that's why I don't think it's a big deal, and I think it's important to have solar panels just to get you just enough to go a certain distance, and then you can hunker down somewhere else. So that's the research I put into it. This stuff is not cheap, but there is one company I'll let you know. Their name is Lion Trucks. If you want to look that up and write it down, if you look up that company out of Canada, they have really good efficient motors. I actually looked into Tesla, but Tesla's a little tough right now, and I can't do the semis. I'm trying to find an engine I can easily convert it into the 6x6 truck. That's why these companies, they actually convert school buses, the Bluebird school buses, into electric vehicles. And because of the large scale parts that they have to use for converting these buses, this actually matches pretty close to the MTVR. And that's why we are working with these companies right now to do that. So that's it. I'm doing a lot of weird projects, but this is just one of them to let you know. Now I want to show you the Humvee, where the Humvee, again, we can actually convert this into EV. This already is perfected. There's actually two companies I'm working with. There's one out of Canada, and then there is another one out of Florida I'm working with, where we can basically take this similar deal where we have the transmission here, and actually the other company I'm working with, it's very similar to Tesla, where basically the wheel, around the wheel, the axles, there's actually going to be the motors mounted around the wheels, just like a Tesla vehicle, to allow the Humvee to move. It's a crazy technology, but it's much more expensive. So if we're just going to do more of a transmission type of swap, we're doing it for about this cost, about $120,000 to convert the Humvee and make it look just like this for the full upgrade. If you do want to upgrade it just a little bit more, there's additional upgrades for it here, but again, this can be done today. We can start this. This is very much possible. You can easily convert the Humvee, but my goodness, guys, my goal is this. I would like to do the MTVRs is my goal right now, but yes, in the Humvees as well, I recommend maybe get a helmet top or get the Expedition Truck package is what I recommend. So if you scroll up here and get the Expedition package like these vehicles and have solar panels mounted all the way across the top, then you can, or even just get a rack on the top of the Humvee and get rid of this, then you can have enough solar panels to help give your Humvee more juice if you need it for that reason. All right. Now, the most common one that people can relate to is, I'm going to add this to our catalog, is the Stealth Transit EV. And I call these Stealth because they are. You're going to have, all these vehicles are going to be super quiet. They're running on electric motors. And if it's for hunting, you want to be super quiet, going through the woods, hunting, or even just listen to nature with your family and hear, and just not have to hear an engine running, then this is the way to go. Or even for prepping, if you don't want a soul to know where you are and be very quiet, then get an electric motor. And so the nice thing about the transit vans right now, and Mercedes is getting in there right now. You guys, you can comment below and correct me if I'm wrong, but I've been doing some research on it. But Ford has been doing pretty good right now with having the EV vans that we can convert, and that's why I'm sticking to the transit right now. And we can basically mount the solar panels on the roof similar to this, and basically, again, you can be camping for about 4 days, leave your van parked for those 4 days, and imagine when you're done camping, your van's fully charged, and you can just keep on going home. You don't have to worry about going to a charging station and wait 30 minutes or so for it to charge up, but you already used your solar panels to charge up your van. And again, you don't have to pay money for fuel. But again, I really don't think money is the saving money part is really the thing for electric vehicles. They're always pitching that, saying, oh, you're saving all this money on your fuel. But honestly, these are expensive vehicles. But and also then you got to pay for the electricity. But if you do get your solar panels, I believe that's going to help a lot, and especially for those that don't move around as much. If you're going to park for a day or two or something, or you just commute maybe 5 or 10 miles a day, then you can get something like this. And I do have a couple traveling nurses who live at airports and at hospitals, and and that's who contacted me last night. Is I have a traveling nurse that really wants to do the EV vans like this, and I'm mainly doing the presentation for her. So, but she likes the idea where she could park this at the hospital, the van's always charging, and she never has to pay for gas ever again while living in her Transit EV. So, and what's funny is the prices of the Transit vans are matching up with the other vans, which is I thought was really surprising. If you look right here, you get them for about $60,000 for an EV van. They have other packages to make them a little nicer or add a little bit more spice to them, but they start around $60,000, which is a really good deal, guys. And compared to getting a Humvee, because the Humvees are more, like I say, for show, and also these are made to aggressively go off-roading. And if you want, and having the and then having electric motor, I guess, is a big advantage. Same thing for the MTBR. These are made for aggressive off-roading, and then just add that extra motor for extra support. And one more thing I'll say before closing on this video is I like watching videos about owners that have expedition trucks and they go out into foreign countries and go on very long expedition trips. But the funny thing is there's times where they may get a flat tire or they run out of fuel, and then they got to hitchhike with a guy in a third world country that they don't even know and risk their life to an extent just to get some fuel. But what if you go on an expedition trip with your truck? You don't have to worry about running out of gas. If you run out of fuel or just run out of electricity, just hang tight for a day or two with your family, enjoy the outdoors, let your truck charge up, and then keep on going. So I would say there's great advantages to this. I'm really pushing this hard, but again, guys, this doesn't happen overnight. There's a lot of research and a lot of planning for this stuff, but the Humvee and the van is already set to go. We're good to go on these. You guys can order that today if you wanted to. But when it comes to the expedition trucks, I need a little bit more time, but it looks like it's already a done deal. It works out great. We can do it, but I want to be safe. And so, but now you know the pricing, you know what we offer, and but if you do have any questions, let me know. But again, guys, I really appreciate your support and love selling our Humvees and our military vehicles. Oh yeah, and one last announcement we'll make before closing. I may be only selling our Humvees to clients who will be doing upgrades. I'm having a hard time keeping the stock that I want, and we're getting more and more people who are getting ready to do upgrades, but I already sold some of the trucks already to people that just want the truck as is. So if I want to keep the trucks for my customers that want to do upgrades, I might be having a shortage on that, because I have about a dozen trucks pending at the auction yard that I already bought, but I gotta wait 2 to 4 months for those trucks to complete their registrations. And so there's a process to this, guys, and it's a process, but yeah, it does save you money in the long run and time if you get it from us, but I'm trying to figure that out right now. So I don't have a huge inventory if some of you saw it, because I had one person complain about it yesterday, but we're trying to update our inventory and get more trucks readily available, but we have quite a few who are pending right now at the auction yard. So anyway, but thank you so much for your time, and you guys have a wonderful evening.